I'll walk you through some common GED math questions and share a few simple tricks in order to help you solve them faster and with more confidence. And by the way, if you or someone you know is currently studying for the GED and struggling to stay consistent or feeling overwhelmed by it, also looking to improve their score to a passing level or higher in just 1 month, I'm taking on 3 students for free to help them get there. If you're interested, do the quick survey pinned in the comments below. In this question, we are asked to find the distance between the 2 points A and B. Now, one thing to note is that distance is always positive. The formula to find the distance between the 2 points on a number line is B minus A. But there's a problem here. Can you guess what it is? Earlier, I said distance is always positive. But let's say, for example, our B in the formula is 5 and A is 6. Then that would make the answer -1. But wait, that's wrong. This is where the absolute value symbol comes into play. It ensures that our result is always positive, making this -1 a positive one. With that in mind, let's solve the actual equation. B on the numbered line is -2, and A is 3, which equals to -5, making our answer C. We can always fact check this one given a number line by counting from point B to A, and here it is 5, and when we check our answer, C is still valid because of the absolute value, which makes it the same as a +5. In any graph representing a function, to correctly represent a function, each input on the x-axis should have one output on its y-axis, which means that each number on the x-axis here should have only one output on the y-axis here. Now, an easy way to test for this is by drawing a vertical line on the x-axis. When you draw that vertical line, it should only touch one point, like this line. But on this line, it touches 2 points. So, to correct the graph, we need to remove one of these points. The first point here is 2 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis. If we check our options, the answer should be D. Really important, this here is also a function, but this function is in table form. As I explained it earlier, an input on the x-axis should have one output on the y-axis. A great example for this is a vending machine. When you press a number on a vending machine, it'll give you an item from that row. On this vending machine, if you input the number 25, you expect a Milky Way bar, right? Well, the vending machine would be broken if you press number 25 and instead get a Twix bar. For example, on our vending machine, if we add a new number, let's say 1, what would our output be? 7, right? Because on the x-axis here, if we input 1, we get 7. So, if we put 1 here, then our output should be 7. Now, let's say, for example, we instead put 4. Well, that would mean the vending machine is broken because you can't press 1 and expect to get 2 different items. I want you to pause the video and try to solve for the correct answer. The correct answer should be 4 as our input and any other number as our output. In this question, we are asked to plot a point on the grid. Think of it like crossing a street. When crossing a street, you first look left and right, then cross the street up and down. The first point here is 3. Our first step is to look left and right, starting from the origin, for the x-coordinate 3. If we look to the left, those are negative, and on the right, we have 3 right here. Now we look for our next number, -2. -2, starting from the origin, we go down, and it's right here. So we will plot our point where these lines meet. If we follow these lines, they meet right there, making this here our answer. In this question, we are asked to multiply 4.21 times 7.5. It can also be written like this, but a much quicker way to solve this is by rounding the decimals to the nearest ones. When we round 4.21 to the nearest ones, it becomes 4. and 7.5 becomes 8. When multiplied, the answer is 32. Now, when we check our options, A, B, and D aren't correct because they're not close enough to 32. The closest option in our answer is C. Let's check. We are going to do 5 times 1, 5, then 5 times 2, which is 10, carry the 1, and drop the 0. Then 5 times 4, which is 20 plus the 1 we carried over, so 21. Now we multiply the second number, and whenever we start multiplying the next number, we always put a 0 first. Now we start. 7 times 1, 7. 7 times 2 equals 14. Carry the 1, drop the 4. Lastly, 7 times 4, 28. Plus the 1 we carried, 29. Now we add. 5 plus 0, 5. 7 plus 0, 7. 4 plus 1, 5. 9 plus 2, 11. Carry the 1, drop a 1. 2 plus 1, 3. Now, to find where to put the decimal points, we count the decimal places. It's going to be from the first number, 1, 2. 2 decimal places. And then on the next number, just 1. So we're going to add those two. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Now we count 3 decimal places on our answer. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And that is where we will place our decimal point. Really important. For square roots, I have a cool trick to solve them if you're not allowed to use a calculator. For example, in this question, we are asked to find the square root of 576. What you can do is try squaring each number till you get your answer, but that's too slow. What I do, and the faster way, is first we check for the largest place value in our number, which in this number is 5 in the hundreds place. Then we write its total value, which is 500. The next step is to start squaring by tens, starting from 0. 0 times 0, 0. 10 times 10, 100. 20 times 20, 400. 30 times 30, 900. And so on. As we square them, we check where our 500 would fall into. So 0 to 100, well, that's smaller than 500, so no. 100 to 400, well, that's not it. It's still smaller than 500. But 400 to 900, that's where 500 would go. So for example, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and so on. That's where 500 falls into. And with that information, we know that our answer has to have a 2 in the tens place, because 20 times 20 is 400, and our number is 500, which comes right after. It can't be 30 because 30 times 30 is 900, and anything above 30, for example, 31 times 31, 32 times 32, 33 times 33, and so on, is going to multiply higher than 900. Because of that, we know that our answers can't be B or D because they don't have a 2 in the tens place. So we remain with option A and option C. To find our answer, we will square the number in the ones place. It'll be option A, 2 times 2, and option C, it's going to be 4 times 4. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. We then check if the numbers in the ones place for our options match up with the number in the ones place in our question. And the one that matches is our answer. The number in the ones place in our question is a 6. And in our options, the only one with a 6 in the ones place is the 6 in 16. Our answer in this question is option C. For this question, we are asked to find the equation. And to get our answer, we just have to simply plug in the values and use our calculator to get the answer. Now, we replace all the letters in the equation with their respective numbers. For x, that would be 2. And for y, it would be -5. We replace all the letters with their numbers. Once we do that, we plug this equation into our calculator. By the way, this calculator is the exact same calculator you will be told to use during the examination. Let's plug in our equation. 42 bracket 2 close bracket take away 8 open the bracket -5 close the bracket squared. Now we hit enter. and our answer will be negative 116. In this question, we are asked to find x. Now, to find x, we have to first get x alone. To do that, let's subtract 5 from both sides. From there, we get x. From there, we get 3x is greater than 6. To remain with x, we still have to get rid of the 3. Now, 3x in this equation means 3 times x is greater than 6. So to remove the 3, we have to do the opposite of multiplication, which is to divide. We divide 3x by 3, and what you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side. So we divide 6 by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, which is just x. 6 divided by 3 is 2, making our final answer x is greater than 2.